So another example of what can I do, I am just one person, was yesterday's hands-off rallies across the state and across the country. I could not attend because other than this rally I've had to work all weekend. But here's my take on hands-off. So hands-off can be said selfishly, like, hands off, I want that last donut. It can be said jealously, like in a bar fight. Hands off, she's mine. Hands off can be said in self-defense, like when someone tries to grab someone by the... In its essence, when we say hands off, we are saying to someone else, keep your hands off of this thing because it belongs to me. So I protect the thing that belongs to me, that I have a right to. And so, of course, you should protect the thing that you have a right to protect. You don't have the right to take my thing away from me, so neither do I have the right to take from you what belongs to you. So this love your neighbor sign is mine. You must keep your hands off of it unless I allow you to use it. But I must keep my hands off of Jerry's be kind and fair to all people sign unless Jerry allows me to use it. This is more than a selfish thing when applied to something deeper than a sign. If I choose to destroy my sign, that's on me. If I can say hands off, it means I can also say, I don't care anymore, so take it off my hands and put it in yours. But when the stakes are higher, when what I have in my hand is more abstract or more precious, or more metaphysically significant, then the calculus is different. Morally speaking, I have an obligation to take care of what's mine, including a special obligation to take care for something like a young daughter or a pet, which cannot fully care for itself alone. This means that I owe a special duty to my child to give her food and clothing and shelter and a decent shot at a happy and healthy life. It also means that I don't have that same duty to someone else's child. But even if I don't have a direct duty to support that other child, it doesn't mean that I'm not obligated to be concerned for that other child. Making sure my child is not hungry doesn't require me to feed the other child, but my greater moral duty does not allow me to steal food from someone else's child to feed my own. So the ethics of hands off, this thing belongs to me, says three things. First, I must be a watchful and careful steward of the thing that belongs to me if I intend to nurture it, especially if it needs to be protected from someone who would threaten or destroy it. Number two, I have no right to take or change the thing that belongs to someone else. And number three, but when that thing belongs not to me or to you, but to all of us, collectively, like we the people, then as ethical citizens, we all have a duty to keep the hands of those who would threaten or destroy the thing off the thing, especially if that thing is a country, a rule of law, a collection of communities, a neighborhood. Benjamin Franklin famously said after the signing of the United States Constitution, "A republic if you can keep it," emphasizing the need for citizens to be vigorous in safeguarding their republic. Now, opponents of ours agree, and they would also say, hands off. This country doesn't belong to those who would have a sign that says don't tolerate hate, or a sign that says love each other, Black Lives Matter, or a sign that says affordable housing is justice, or a pride flag, or a trans flag. There are many people who would say, that's not America, hands off. So as we've discussed here many times, we have to make sure that when we stand up here and say these are our values, we have to make sure we are not hypocritical in believing we are the only ones who have values. We're not the only ones who can say hands off my country, but we need to be ready to engage with people about what is the thing which we should keep our hands off. What should we protect? What deserves the protection? So America said hands off yesterday in the way that Canada and Greenland have had to say hands off. In the way that lawyers for Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia. In the way his lawyers, an innocent man in Maryland, disappeared by the United States government in error to El Salvador. His lawyers said, hands off. And the judge said, hands off, return him by the end of the day tomorrow. And of course the federal government says, we can't. We kind of lost him to El Salvador. Oops. Our error that a person in America illegally is now in a prison. So those who showed up and stood up and spoke up yesterday to say hands off, were not just saying hands off. They were saying America belongs to its citizens, and we will protect those who threaten the principles that make America not just a normal country where we all want security and stability and survival, but a great country because we also want to take care of those who need assistance, and we want rules applied fairly to all, if still an imperfect country, because reform and progress are difficult and elusive. So my thanks to all of those, including many here, who took the time in yesterday's rain to amplify the discussions of how to live as ethical citizens with active roles in a complex world.